Hope you're not tired of castles, because we've got another one.
We are at Caernarfon Castle today. It has so much history. We could talk for hours. We'll try to cram down some of the important stuff into as small time as possible. We are in the main tower. When you come in, they recommend you go up through this tower and explore the floors above it because they have a lot of information. They also think this would have been like the headquarters of the person who was running the castle if the king was here. I'm not sure if this would have been his place or just the person who's in charge. Either way, they have a great display on Edward I's wife, Eleanor, which you don't hear a lot about in some documentaries and things. She's a very smart woman. They got married very, very young. He was 14, she was 12. At the age of 13, she gave birth to her first child. Unfortunately, it was a stillborn. It was a baby girl. She had 16 children, only one of which was a male. He was born here at Caernarfon while it was being built. The significance of that was incredible, just for the fact that it was the first male that they had, that he was born here at Caernarfon. They crowned him later the Prince of Wales. It was so important because obviously Edward was English. They were kind of taking over Wales, and they were like, aha, we have had a boy. He will be the prince of this country. So a lot of significance for that. Flash forward to the 1960s when Prince Charles was crowned here, Prince of Wales as well. They decked everything out. It was a huge, huge celebration. Crazy. Just to correct myself, I said they only had one son. That was out of their 16 surviving children. They had another boy, Alfonso, who died when he was 10. I don't know how many children total they had. Obviously, it was a lot. We are in that tower with the 3 towers on top. We're on the 2nd floor, so it was ground floor, 1st floor, 2nd floor. This is where the king's quarters would have been. There's a little illustration on the wall over there we can show. It was kind of turning from when everybody stayed in the Great Hall and they all stayed together. It was getting to the point where like the king and queen wanted their privacy, so it was becoming popular to have their own separate quarters. This would have been their room. It's huge, massive. We've never been in a tower this big. It's insane. The beams above alone are just mind-blowingly huge. Huge. in this tower. It's called the Eagle's Tower. It's because all these carvings on top used to be eagles. They've worn down, obviously. We have a long way to go.
We have been to several castles where they have scaffolding up, where they're kind of taking care of the castle. I know some people think of it as disappointing, but I always look at it as a good thing because it means that they've got the money and the time, and they're taking the time to take care of something this old so everyone can see it for generations to come. This tower behind us is pretty significant because the king who had this castle built, Edward I, his wife Eleanor was from another country, and she was pretty powerful as far as most women of that time goes. In her sigil for like her coat of arms, that where she came from for her house, it is literally that tower, a single tower with 3 turret towers on top of it. In a time that most women were only considered to be there to make heirs, she was able to make heirs and also influence the building of something so great as this castle with that tower. So that's pretty amazing for the times. Unfortunately, they're working on the King's Gate, which is behind us, which is a bit of a bummer because it's one of the aspects that I really wanted to see. It was overkill to a crazy degree. Most castles had just 2 portcullises, and that was enough to keep anybody out. This one had 6. And in case you didn't know what a portcullis is, it is literally an iron gate that they can drop to stop you from moving forward. So normally they just had 1, which is good. And then 2 was like, hey, no one's going to get in. They wanted 6. And it's less about trying to stop somebody and more about it being the King's Gate, and the king wants you to know that he had so much money that he could have 6 portcullises and you wouldn't get in. The King's Gate was never finished, but if it was completely finished, it would have had 5 sets of doors, 2 drawbridges, and 6 portcullises. It is an extreme show of power for the Welsh to know that King Edward was here to stay.
In this spot in the 1960s, Prince Charles's investiture to become Prince of Wales happened right here. They put in tons of bleachers and seating. It was a huge color televised event, and that happened right here.
Just want to come back and say that I think Lydia knew that the King's Gate was closed. I didn't. It's a big bummer because it's such an impressive gate. There's not any other castle that has one like it, and I'm kind of pretty disappointed about it. So, but hey, at least eventually everybody will get to see it. One of the unique things about this castle was the arrow slits, and these are really, really cool. And this is how they kind of found out who built the castle, because they weren't really a thing the English did originally. So this first arrow slit is like the traditional. It would just be a straight shot. So a crossbowman or an archer would come up and shoot directly at whoever they could see. However, this castle introduced these guys. Both of them go this way. So not only can you see two different angles now. If for some reason that they had moved, you can hit them here, you can hit them there. And then, if they're somewhere else, you can move down the line and shoot straight. It's a very unique feature you don't see in very many medieval castles, and it's really, really cool to see. Real quick update. Lydia and I got here. We're so distracted by the video in the castle that we forgot to pay for parking for the car. Lydia has taken the wallet and some cash and ran outside to pay the parking, and she left me in the castle to explore. But I figured, what if I can get all the way up top and see if the car is still here? And thank God we're in a castle, because it's got good views and the car is still here. There it is, the one with the red roof. Right there. And now we wait for Lydia to come put a tag on it. She may have beat me. She may have already gone there, but we'll see. There's my lovely wife paying for the parking. And I'm on top of a castle. Good job, baby. I also just locked the car from up here because she ran all the way down there without the keys. The crisis averted. We got the parking paid for, and the key was able to work on top of the tower. So that's great. Lydia's on her way back up. I'm gonna go and try to find her. Hail the conquering hero!
I don't recommend ever losing track of each other in a castle when time is of the essence. So I left Billy the bottom of this tower, like on the ground floor. I mean, all the way back to the entrance of the castle, realized I didn't have the keys to the car, came back, went back in that tower, couldn't find Billy, went all the way to the top of that tower, came back down, over to this one, partway through the museum, thought surely he's not in there. Then I just figured I'll run out there and then I'll just turn off the airplane mode and spend our $20 a day and call each other. I get all the way out to the parking lot and he's on the top of the other tower waving at me. Car's unlocked. We never locked it. It's been a day, folks. Been a day.
I love my wife.
I do all the running.
I didn't think I was like, all I could think about was like, I can get footage of her going to the car, it'll be great. And so I booked it across, went up an entire tower to the very top of it, and then like waited. And then was like, she probably made it out before, and then she came back out. By that time we both turned our phones on, so.
We did it.
That is us done at Caernarfon Castle. This thing is amazing. It is, as far as like a medieval castle goes, it is definitely one of the places you need to see if you like that sort of thing, which I love. The King's Gate, unfortunately, was not available for us, but in itself is amazing if you get a chance to see it. The construction of this one is just everything you want in a medieval castle, and I feel very lucky to have been here.
This castle also has so many features we've never seen in any other, and that's partly because we learned it was like an administrative hub, so there was far more clerks and people doing paperwork. So this castle has the most light, like daylight, most windows we've ever seen. Also, there are towers within towers within towers, so there's interior windows into rooms and then a walkway around those rooms inside the tower. It's so different.
If you are in Wales, you have to see this castle.
There's only one.
If you see only one castle, come here. We may change our recommendations depending on what else we find,
but so far, this is it.
And we've run out of... That's a wall.
So we're done here for the day. We're going to end the vlog here because now we're going to go ride a train in the mountains.
Bye, castle.